Hey there, this is Adam's grandmother, and you're now tuned into the Archives with Adam podcast, where every episode dives deep into Adam's brain archives. With each guest, we uncover hidden stories, real memories, and conversations that bring you closer to the people behind the moment. Now, welcome to the Archives.
Welcome back to another episode of the Archives with Adam. And we're just going to get right into it. This guest needs no introduction. And he is somebody that's been on the show plenty of times. But if you need to know, he's been in all of that. Pootie Tang, Hardball. He's got some other shows under his belt, but he is a dear friend of mine. I have Bryan Christopher Hearne on the show. Bryan, how you living, bro?
I'm living, man. I think things is going well right now. Life is good. Life is good. I'm really happy. I'm happy to be here. You know what I mean?
Of
It's
course,
lit.
man. You're always welcome to be on the show. It's always a good time. We always have good conversation.
Yeah.
Today I was gonna have Charlie from Charlie's Retro Reality, but he might show
Still
up a
hold.
little bit later.
He's still crossing the fingers
That's
for
some hope. Yeah, man.
appearance.
Yeah. So I mean, I wanted to chat with you about Splatcon. Next week we're gonna be reuniting in LA. You're gonna be
Yeah.
reuniting with some of the All That cast, but
Yeah.
October 19th and 20th at the Hilton LAX. Man,
That's
70 Nickelodeon themed guests.
wow.
Man,
70?
70 plus. They keep
That's
announcing more every day, man.
I know. I'm seeing. That's that. Yeah. I mean, the concept of a convention is so crazy, but when you get people together, you get them all in the same room. Um, you know, I think what you end up finding is that even the most famous person has somebody that they're excited to see. You know what I mean? So, I'm excited to see Kel, but I imagine that Kel's excited to see probably Cree Summers. You never know. You never know. So it's gonna be an interesting day or a couple of days. I'm excited.
Definitely. That's who I was gonna ask you, like, who are you excited to be around, man? I've had quite a few of the guests on my show already, and man, besides reuniting with you and Gary, I think I'm most excited to see Marilyn Harris Smith, man. Andre's grandma. She's a
Yeah,
doll, man. So I
yeah,
think getting
crazy.
to
Yeah,
connect with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
y'all like mad connections. Who am I most excited? I'm excited to see Omar Gooding. I haven't seen him in probably been about 20 years. I'm old, so I don't think I've seen my man about 20 years. Omar. I mean, and obviously, I mean, all of my cast members, all of the cast members before me, definitely excited for Leon and Josh Server and Alyssa Reyes and but my people, what I'm saying, my heart, what I'm saying, Gio and Lisa and it's a couple people that haven't been announced yet that I just heard are coming, and I don't want to, I don't want to mess up the surprise. But it's some people from my season that's coming through. I'm really excited to have just to have them in my vicinity. I'm very excited for the actual convention, right? But I land Friday. The convention is Saturday, so I'm excited to see people outside of the convention. You know what I mean? And then if I'm 100, there's some fans I'm excited to see. There's some people who have podcasts that I've interviewed with that are diehard fans. Like obviously you and Fab, like that's a given. Uh, but Kevy the Dreamer, very excited to see Kev. It's just like it's about to be. I think it's about to be a really good gathering of fandom. So it's lit.
Definitely, man. I'm excited to see how many people show up to your table. Obviously, all that that's on your resume, man. But hardball was my thing for you. So
Yeah,
it'll be exciting, man. You got to bring out that Andre jersey, maybe the hardball hat. Unless there's
got it. Got it. I just got that mug. I got the cleaner, so you know what I'm saying. Definitely gonna be rocking that for
okay,
sure.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So we're gonna be doing some press and media. We might have to do some in-person interviewing with you, and
Say
you know,
less.
we got you,
Yeah.
we got you. But man, is this your first convention? Have you done any conventions prior to that?
Well, I did the Stanley Kamikaze
Oh,
uh
okay, yeah, yeah.
in 2015, 2015. Maybe it was 2014. Yeah, definitely 2014 because it's 2024 now. So that was the 20th anniversary of all that. And so this now is the 30th anniversary. So crazy. I ain't been to a convention in 10 years. It seems like, I'll see y'all again at the 40.
Man, 30 years. I can't even imagine that, man. I'm just thinking about it now because I'm 34.
Right. I'm 36.
It's crazy.
Man, I've been around that long. It's beautiful.
What are some surprises that people could be looking forward to when it comes to, being at your table?
Oh yeah. Well, I got some merch I'm selling. I don't want to give too much away.
Don't give too much away.
But I got some things I'm selling, what I'm saying? My wife gonna be with me. We're just gonna be mobbing and kicking it with the fans, dapping people up, taking photos. I'm trying to get together a like a USB flash drive so I could give like a couple of flash drives so I could give away the album to people that that I feel deserve it.
It's a good album. It's a good album. And that's not me being biased, man. We'll chat about the music a little bit later. But that does lead me into the next part. I mean, you have transitioned into music now. And I've had the privilege to see you perform and, a couple of times, whether it be, doing some covers, for the foundation that you guys have, or even just, for your album that was coming out. I mean, the true big question is, man, are you going to be performing at Splatcon? I mean, we already know Lisa Foyle's band is going to be there, but I need to see another Bryan Hearne performance.
Yeah. Well, let me first say that Lisa's a rock star, so I'm wildly excited that we might gotta hit the mosh pit one time. You know what I'm saying? We might gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a mosher. So I might just get up in there and throw my elbow at somebody and slide out. But I'm very excited to see her touch the stage. I've never seen her band perform. So I'm hype about that. And to answer your question, yes, I am performing. I don't have a lot of details. I have all the details, but I'm not going to divulge them. but I have some special guests coming out to hit the stage with me. I've got an upcoming album, so I'll be performing songs from that album. And yeah, I'm most excited about the performance aspect of this. I'm trying to see all my people do their thing. I'm trying to do my thing because we were child actors. Yeah, we are actors, but a lot of us do. We have other work. We are multifaceted people, and we have other passions. And so I'm very excited to share and then also see who's going to be sharing their passions with us. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be insane. And Ryan Coleman and I, we actually talked about a mosh pit. So man, that's
wow.
That's great to hear you say it because that'll be dope.
Dang, me and Ryan gonna be in there. That's my man. Shout out Ryan, man. I'm very excited to see that's what, yeah. I didn't say that's one person I'm excited to see. You know what I'm saying? He's so talented. That's one of the most talented people I know, and one of the greatest musicians of our generation. I know he probably feel like I'm capping, but I'm not capping. That's my man, bro. He's really talented. He's really that guy. And so I'm very excited to just chop it up with him and see him and try and convince him to let me write a song for him. That's the mission. That's the mission.
So Lisa broke it down for us. She said, when my band performs, we perform to put on a show, a different show and things like that. For the people that haven't seen you perform, what can they expect, from a show by you?
Oh man, I would say the same thing that Lisa said. I'm not gonna have my band with me. So that's, a little bit of sweet, my band up here. So, when I'm doing the travel thing, I can't just get everybody to quit their job and, come with me. One day, on wood, we're going to we're gonna be able to take the band on the road. But I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do some things from Martyr, the album that came out in March of this year, and then my album that is on the way is called Cupid's Got a Gun. Dang, I wonder if I should say this. All right, I'm gonna say this, bro. People don't know. I don't think a lot of people know. I actually think I'm the only person that knows this. I am trying to release the first single for my album Cupid's Got a Gun on Friday before Splatcon. So Friday I land, we're gonna push it out in my head. We land, push the single out, and then by Saturday, the people who have heard the record will be able to sing along to the record when I perform it. So yeah, fun times. It's gonna be fun times.
Okay. See, and that leads me to the next portion. Go ahead.
Time to dance. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a real funky piece of work, this next album. So, we're gonna be getting up. We're not gonna be sitting down doing the Hollywood thing. It's time to dance. First of all, we've been doing the work thing, taking pictures and shaking hands and kissing babies. But then when it's time to hit the stage, nah, y'all performing with me. I need some movement. I need some, booty shaking. I need some shoulder rubbing and all that.
Perfect, man. So no, that leads me into the next portion. I was gonna ask you the name. We got the name. You have a full album release date that everybody could expect. I mean, we got the first song that you're planning to release being next Friday. What are you thinking? What's the release date for the album? Tentative.
I don't have a tentative date, but I do need people to know that as soon as I drop this record on Friday, God willing, hoping that it comes Friday. I'm waiting on the artwork is the problem. But as soon as there's a piece of the album out, it's gonna be you might get sick of my face because we're gonna be doing a lot of moving around and TikToking and Instagram reeling. So you know what I mean? The vibe that we're going with is it's funk. The name of the album, yeah, Cupid's Got a Gun. And so from October to January, we're going to be teasing the album. But in my head, my plan is for a 2025 release. But if you think about it, it's not so far away. It's October. As soon as Halloween's over, it's basically Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like Thanksgiving, yeah, obviously. But you know what I'm saying? The year starts to go right by. The fall doesn't count as a season, bro. So I'm thinking January release, and then once we got some records going, I'm talking multiple records dropping before January. So I'm gonna be giving y'all some things. Like, it's not just gonna be one record and I'm done. We're gonna be pushing some stuff out. So
yeah. All right. So now, I mean, we know it's an all funk album, and in the time that I've gotten to know you, man, your personality, we built a really good friendship, and it's not just having interviews and podcast episodes, man. We've actually even had a podcast ourselves at one point. But right. I feel like funk is your thing, man. That's like it speaks you. That's really who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you best describe this album?
Man, so I mean, shouts to the band, bro. The band is what got me. I mean, I picked up the bass like for real in 2020, and I joined this band, and we had a different lead singer. I was not the lead singer, and so when that lead singer went her separate way, respectfully, we love her still. We miss her, like we want her to come back. But when it was decided, like, okay, I'm gonna be the front runner, and the music that I've been writing is gonna be, what we perform. I kind of before that, it was funky music. We were doing covers. We was doing like, Stevie Wonder and some old Michael, and each track was just like I just got so addicted to playing the funk on the bass. Like I love funk, so I started paying attention to Bootsy Collins and even like Thundercat, like just like the most funky bass player. Like, give me something that like got some hop to it. You know what I mean? And so the record itself aspires to be a 70s record. Like it has aspirations of the 70s. I was listening to a lot of Gap Band. I was listening to Al Green, Isley Brothers, you know what I mean? Obviously Earth, Wind and Fire like had big inspiration on this joint. And so it's got R&B elements that speak to that speak to the old age. But in my head, and I've said this before, the album to me is, if you ask somebody like Al Green or Marvin Gaye, what is R&B going to sound like? What is this genre that you took hold of, that you are the king of? What's it going to sound like in 2024? In my head, they would press play on an album like Cupid's Got a Gun. And so I'm very excited for I'm excited to be teasing y'all, but I'm really excited for January, because when it comes, I'll be able to breathe because it will be out and I won't be holding on to this thing, and it's done. This is the first time that like I've completed a project and it's like so far in the future for release. Like I'm just sitting on it. I'm listening to it and I'm like, man, I can't wait, but I can't.
I'm pretty excited to hear it, man. You know, I've been left out of the loop this time around. No, I'm kidding. But you know, with the Martyr album, you know, man, you shared me some things, and man, yeah, I'm stoked now, and I'm okay not hearing it until it comes out, because that really
the first record you heard the intro.
I did, and that was dope. Shout out to Pine, by the way, the Pioneers.
Pine has. So I want to say that he has 3 records on this album, 3 crucial records. He has the intro, he has the second single, and he has a song that kind of serves as a commercial. But the album itself has these skits on it that are really important to the album itself. And he even has production on the skits. So he's throughout the record, man. He's throughout. Like that man, he's too talented. He's too talented to not, you know what I mean? And my goal is to one day do an album just with him. You know what I'm saying? As producer. But we'll cross that bridge.
Let's get through this one. Over this one. Let's get over this one. So yeah, man, you know, I've seen your stories while you were in LA, you know, doing your listening party and whatnot. Gary, man, I seen Gary popping up. I know he dabbled in the rap at one point, you know, and whatnot. Are we gonna get any Gary features, or what's up with that?
That's a crazy question. Gary did dabble in rap. I don't want to divulge too much, but I'm going to say that Gary has, you know, first of all, he's a legendary voiceover actor. And so what I had him do was I had him do some voiceover acting. And another one that throughout the whole record, like you hear him multiple times. And like I could not have asked for a better person. You're like he's a voice. I mean, you don't even know that you wouldn't even know that it's him. Like he's so good. You know what I mean? But I plan on letting everybody know, like that voice that you hear, that's my man. That's my man. So yeah, I'm excited to have him on the record. He's just like, and when I tell you, like, it's not gonna make sense. I asked him for his contribution, like on a whim. I was like, oh, this is what I need. And then I was like, maybe I could do it myself. But then I was like, I mean, I can do voices, but I'm not a voiceover dude. Like, he the voiceover dude. I hit him up and he had the legendary clip or clips that you hear throughout this album. He had it to me in 4 minutes.
Insane.
I asked him at like 11:56, and by 12 p.m., I had the entire clip that I needed to put throughout the album. Like, the dude's amazing.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Just to hear that this collaboration's going on, and you know,
Yeah.
Adrian Pioneers being on it again, man. It's just man, that anticipation. 2025 needs to get here ASAP.
No, I know. I'm thinking like January, but I'm thinking like still like I want it to be over the Christmas break. Like, I still want everybody to be home, chilling with their family. So it might be like a New Year type of release, bro.
Hey, and you know what? I've seen like funk bands performing, on New Year's. I mean, that could be a perfect way for,
Praise from your
yeah,
mouth to God's ears. That'd be a blessing. That would be a blessing, man. I would love that.
without a doubt. Now, man, my show's all about digging into the archives. So, we
Yeah.
couldn't really do that without, we couldn't really do it without digging into your brain archive. And I was like, man, how could I do that with Charles? Not being on right now and asking some of his questions to kind of do that. But,
Yeah.
for me, man, I've heard it, I've heard a lot of your music, man, from Chauncey Bass to even, now as Hearne.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of your music, man, because I know you put so much into it, and I know you take it seriously.
Yeah.
How does this new album stack against the previous work, from, songs that are true to you, like Baby Blue, Chains Off Me, No
Yeah.
Trap, No Fear, and even Top of the Hill?
Dang. Wow. Yeah. I think that I do this thing when I make records. I like when I'm making a record, I try not to listen to my old stuff because like I might take, especially when it's like this is the avenue that I'm taking, and it's not an avenue that I've taken before. So all the other avenues have to kind of like sit over there while I focus on the funk. And so I think that from the feedback, I'll actually say that from the feedback that I got from both album listening parties that I had, and to sidebar that was very difficult for me. I have never in my life shown a body of work, one, before it was done. I've never in my life shown a body of work before it came out. I might, send my friends a couple of, I'll send you like quick one song, you know what I'm saying? But a whole album to show, like, and close friends, like close people, but still like, oh my God, it was nerve wracking, especially in LA, because like those are my people and they are critical of my work. You know what I mean? So I was like, they could I'm on the plane, like they could tell me this is garbage. Like what they gonna do? What you gonna do when they tell you it's garbage? You got to go back to the drawing board. Can't come out in January. Man, the feedback that I got was so good, and it felt so good to hear people like get it. Because when you come up with an album that's like kind of like concept driven, it's like, ooh, what if what if it's capping heads, man? Like, what if it's not reaching the brain? Like, what if it's not penetrating? But I was told that it's my best work. I was told that this album sounds the most like me, which is crazy because I feel like Martyr sounds a lot like me, especially from the like a conversation with me about mental health, like Martyr. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that. But this album speaks to who I am as a husband and father and like protector even, and it also speaks to my fantasy mind. I put in place fantasies about my marriage, about my relationship, so that I'm making music that's relatable. Like, I want to make music that's relatable, but I also want to still speak to what I feel. And so I think if I could say so myself, I think I mean, I don't think that Martyr could be compared to Cupid Got a Gun, but if you were to compare it to, Cupid kind of trumps only because of the creativity of the album. I feel like Baby Blue's still one of my best songs.
It's amazing, man. It's soothing. It's relaxing.
Yeah, that's the one, man. And it's the I'm gonna get back to the poetry aspect of my music. I really enjoy doing spoken word on songs. I'll write a spoken word and then turn it into a song. And I wasn't able to do that on this album because of the concept, because of the drive that it has on its own. But yeah, in the coming months, in the coming years, there's gonna be a lot more spoken word on my stuff, but not on Cupid. Cupid, we have to go crazy. So yeah, good times though.
Definitely. So, man, you've featured, family members like your kids on tracks before, and
Yeah.
are we gonna see any family features? Nobi, Yell, Top. I mean, shout out to all of them, amazing artists as well. But
Yeah,
you know,
that's a
Nick, no?
great question. Asking the good ones. Asking the good ones. Um, Nobi has a production on this,
Okay.
uh, and he does background vocals on that song. And that song is very special to me because we made it in 2021. It's technically the first song that I recorded for this album. And he just made a beat. He started playing the piano, something crazy. He was just going crazy, and I ended up singing the hook, and it was kind of a, you know what? I'll actually even like divulge a little bit on that song. That song is called Float, and the hook goes like this. The hook says, "Your chocolate covered kisses taste like rainbows. I'm dreaming of you floating through my window. Can you tell me why some angels don't have halos when I still see you fly, floating through my mind?" Right? And so that song basically is about a guy who hasn't met the love of his life, but sees her in his head. Like, I know you exist. And it's like, show yourself, yo. I could taste your kisses. I could feel you. I could see you in my window at night. Like, where you at? Like, show yourself. And so, and it was one of those like really organic records where Nobi was we was recording some other stuff, and he just ended up playing the piano, and I'm listening. And I'm like, and that was one of the first songs that I bought the bass out. And I was like, yo, can I play something of that? And it was just like, it ended up going crazy. And so that's a record that's so dear to me. And Nobi on the backgrounds, like he reminds me of JID in the way that like he's so multifaceted. Like the man can rap first and foremost his entire ass off, but then he can sing. And so I'm sitting there like, and then his poetry is like unmatched, and his performance is unmatched, and the man is just crazy. And so I do the main vocals, and I was like, okay, now I got to do some backgrounds on this. And he's like, okay, hold on, let me try something out. And highs and lows, and I didn't even do nothing else. All I did was the main vocal on the joint. And I'm like, look, watching him, like, yo, we got something. You know what I'm saying? So if I could even divulge more in my head, I think that song is called Float, is the third single. It's got like a West Coast feel to it. G Funk was a whole era, and it's still funk. So yeah, it's gonna be a movie. I'm real excited. But so to answer your question, Nobi is on the album. And Yell is on the album.
Okay.
Real excited for both of those to be heard.
It's gonna be amazing, man. Can't wait. I think we kind of went over this a little bit. Ultimately, though, what was the driving inspiration behind the album?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, so I produced 3 songs on the record before I knew that they were songs that were going on an album. Before Martyr, I was doing these songs, and I just was like, man, I think maybe I'm gonna sell these records. I think I'm gonna just like write something, produce it, give it to a singer, and like cash out. But what ended up happening was I fell in love with the songs, and I fell in love with like this concept, and I kind of was like, man, I could make something like really crack with this. Like I could kind of go crazy. So let me see about, trying to make a project based around these 3 records. And so I started reaching out to producers. Shout out to the whole team of producers. Shout out to Pine. Shout out to Northwest Kid. That man is crazy. Man. Shout out to CJ the Fly, who is the sole producer on No Trap No Fear by Chauncey Bass. He makes a whole comeback as producer for me, and he does the outro, and then he features on the record, and he has a song that he produced, and he's the team. These people, I mean, they've never met. I don't think any of these producers have ever met, but I want to get them all in the room together one day and just like thank them because like this album is incredible. But I don't forgot your question.
No, I just was asking what was like the driving inspiration behind the whole album.
Yeah. So it was definitely like playing the bass in a band that was centered around funk, wanting to write songs and like not knowing what producer to go to. So I kind of was just like, I got to do this myself. Like I got to figure out a way to just make this happen because I hear it in my head. And if I play the bass line, yeah, I could play the bass line, lay it, and have somebody else do it. But like, let me just see what happens if I also do the drums and if I also play the keys. And so the middle of the album, there's a feature from Gifted Gab, there's a feature from Yell, and there's a feature from EQ. And all of those records are produced by me. And that was like the middle. That's the soul of the album. That's the thing that made the album like, that gave me the mind to say, okay, this is what I can ask for from Pine. This is what I can ask for from CJ the Fly. This is what I can ask for from Novi. And so the driving force was like, how can I make an album that is so far from what we know R&B to be today? Because I don't want to sound like Bryson Tiller, even though I love Bryson Tiller. I don't want nobody to hear my record and be like, oh yeah, he like Bryson Tiller. I don't want that. I want Bryson Tiller to stand on his own, and I want Hearne to stand on my own. And so that was it. That was like, let me kind of go back. If I'm doing some funky stuff, let me actually hear some funky stuff. Let me listen to some Charlie Wilson. Let me listen to some Al Green, and like really like let it sink into my soul. Like I was going to sleep listening to records, and then would wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm inspired." You know what I mean? Like it gets different when you really get like devoted to a concept. So yeah, I was devoted. I was committed.
Kind of channeling your your inner Wu-Tang, being a New York guy,
Yes.
assembling your Avengers,
Yeah, straight up. That's what it felt like, and it felt like I was like getting an army together. And those guys, they make good music. You know what I mean? And so, and it speaks to like the fact that they were able to make records that go into this like 70s sounding record is huge, because most producers are just like, oh nah, I got some like trap shit for you, like you know what I mean? Like they wasn't giving me no trap stuff. They was giving me something real. So, shout out to trap music though. I still, you know what I'm saying? Still love Lil Baby.
It's just not you. It's just not you, man.
It's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So I wanna end this, man. I found a little something, when I was digging up some questions for Charles, man. Is it true when you started out recording, you went by Hall E. Wood?
Wow. That's crazy. Yes. The answer is yes. Hollywood. I was filming in Hollywood. I was filming all that, over there. And then when I came back to New York, you end up going to school and they like, oh, you was in the movie, weren't you? I'm like, yeah. And nobody treats you like you're nothing special, but you get a nickname. And my nickname was Hollywood Hearne for a long time. And so, yeah, so my first rap name was Hal E. Wood. I don't know what the E meant, But ironically, or not ironically, and not coincidentally, this was very much by design, but somebody asked me what the E stood for, and I never had an answer because I just wanted to be different. I was 15, and when you're 15, you just do weird stuff, and you ain't got no answer for it. And so one day somebody asked me what the E stood for, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, well, maybe when I have my first kid, I'll make sure their name starts with an E. And I stuck to that. My son's name is Ezra, so that's what the E is for.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
And see, that's a story I ain't never heard before, man. So I'm glad I found that out, and
Crazy.
yeah, man. No, I'm excited for the album. I'm excited for next weekend at Splatcon, whether we're at the convention hanging out or even outside of it all, man, it's gonna be a great reunion. It's been almost a year since we last hung out, but bro, February.
Oh man, yeah.
It came out, for your album. I mean, it feels like just yesterday we had Hearne come out, or Martyr come out, and
right.
Man, now we got the next album. So
yeah, no, it's been a solid 8 months. That's a long time, man.
It is, and we're only 3 hours away, man.
Right. We got to fix it. Yeah. Gas up the navigator. Come out there.
For sure, man. But yeah, man, no, it was great to have you on. Glad to get some information about the album out, Splatcon.
Out of me. That's crazy. That's why you don't interview with your friends. You end up saying all types of things and letting people. Let that be a lesson to all the people that like to keep their stuff close. Don't interview with Adam. He'll get it out of you.
100%, man. I'm serious about this, man, and I have a lot of fun with this. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you being on. We're definitely going to be getting some pictures and vlogs next weekend, and it's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be with y'all. Even if it's like just at the convention, and I know y'all got plans. So, and me and Shorty got plans too. So, as long as I'm see y'all, we gonna chop it up. We gonna break bread and eat and and kick it for real.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, man. Next time we'll get Charles on, and
word.
Got some dope questions for you, man. I think you're gonna like, and it takes it back to
post Splatcon interview or something crazy, like what I mean. Yeah. Charles be a part of that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy questions for you, man. But bro, I am going to let you enjoy your weekend, and we'll be seeing you next weekend for sure.
Straight up, yeah, bro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Archives with Adam podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's deep dive into this week's guest stories and insights. And don't forget to stay updated on upcoming episodes only at the Archives with Adam podcast on Facebook and the Archives with Adam on Instagram. Catch you in the next episode.